you guys ready for some more top tier gameplay? No? Good. Hello lads and welcome back to the channel. My name is the Scottish Koala and today we're talking about the potential of a free-for-all game mode in War Thunder. Now for those of you who don't follow me on Twitch, which you should because I live stream 3 times a week. Sorry guys, I had some shameless self-plugging stuck in my throat. But last live stream we held a custom battle which anyone in the stream was able to join in which we tried out the concept of a free-for-all battle. Now, I wish I had some footage from the custom battle to show you guys, but OBS decided that quality footage wasn't something it was prepared to give me that day, so we're gonna have to improvise. So we started out with biplanes only, with a couple of exceptions like the American P-26 pea shooter, and the rules were that anybody was fair game. Now this worked best on a tank map where nobody had to take off, and we essentially just played with infinite respawns and a time limit, and attacked anyone and everyone. After a couple of matches we extended the rules to allow all tier 1 and 2 aircraft, and shortly after that we allowed everything right up to tier 5, and every match proved to be a ton of fun. Now if you check the video description you'll see a link to a straw poll which I'll have up all this weekend where you can vote on whether you think a free-for-all game mode should see a more permanent state within War Thunder. I personally think it should, but there's a lot to discuss in regards to that which I'll do in a 2-part form, so expect another video early next week after the results of the poll are in. There are some reasons why a free-for-all wouldn't fit, or at the very least would make it somewhat difficult to implement without irritating people, but let's just say it was implemented as an event, just like the Battle Royale mode for tanks, or RBEC, or the races for both aircraft and tanks, the floats event, and even the Capture the Flag mode we've seen a couple of times over the past few months. All these unique game modes crop up every now and then, there's usually something happening every weekend, and I'm sure there are several other event modes I'm forgetting. If free-for-all games saw event status, if you will, I don't think that anybody would be unhappy with that. I personally would love it, but there are several things that would have to be accounted for it to work. First and foremost, respawns. These games are spastic as hell, and feel almost like Air Arcade mode in the fact that someone is always engaging you. There are constantly battles happening right around you, and that's okay. It just means that you have to have a huge amount of situational awareness, and even still, you're likely to get killed both quickly and frequently. Battles were happening at low altitudes, between sometimes as many as a dozen players at once. Because of that, the modes would work best with infinite respawns and a time limit, rather than a ticket bleed and limited ability to keep spawning in new aircraft. Perhaps this mode would be implemented as an arcade mode only event, similar to an existing event I remember loving in which one team in low tier aircraft had to land on and capture a street, defended by the other team who were in tanks and anti-air vehicles. This event allowed infinite respawns with, I believe, a Silver Lion cost per spawn, rather like Enduring Conflict, and was only available in arcade form so that the tanks had lead indicators to shoot down the planes more easily. We didn't try arcade mode in our custom battle on stream, mainly because although we were mocking up a free-for-all, we were divided into 2 teams, and allowing the lead indicators from arcade, you'd only get them when engaging someone of the enemy team, and that would rather defeat the purpose of a free-for-all, as the whole idea was to ignore whether players were on your team or the enemies, and just go for anyone. This obviously isn't how the mode will be implemented, and we know that Gaijin has the ability to create free-for-all type modes, evidenced by the races and battle royale events, in which when you tap to see the scorecard, there are no teams, everyone appears as an enemy to everyone else. Second major issue would be spawn points, as in spawn locations. In Battle Royale, everyone spawns in at random locations and there are no respawns. This means that nobody is at a disadvantage due to spawn. However, there is no guarantee that someone won't spawn just around a corner behind you. In the air, there are no buildings or corners or cover to hide behind and use to your advantage, and it isn't as simple for a plane to whip around to face an opponent behind them as it is for a tank that may have a rotating turret, neutral steering, or both. Especially for higher tier planes with wider turning circles like the American P-47 Thunderbolt or German Focke-Wulf 190. With this in mind, I think it would be a good idea to have players all spawn in a ring at equidistant intervals from each other. Perhaps certain planes like Boom and Zoomers could spawn with, say, a 100-foot altitude advantage. Of course this would have to be tested first to see if that would make them too powerful, and higher tier games would have a wider circle of spawn points, say 4 kilometers diameter at tier 1, 8 at tier 2 and so on, up to 20 kilometers diameter at tier 5. That's just the starting point. It would of course depend on the number of players in a battle as to how wide the turning circle would have to be, otherwise you risk players in P-61s spawning 500 feet from players in G-55s, which doesn't sound like fun to me. So that's it for this video. Expect to see a follow-up after the poll ends, and make sure you do go and vote and leave comments below what you think of this idea. I know a lot of people have been begging for more variety of game modes in War Thunder rather than just capture the strategic points or kill all the enemy planes, and this is, I think, a pretty cool idea, at least worthy of testing as perhaps an event mode. There's also the possibility of an aircraft battle royale mode, and I'm thinking this could be amazing fun on some of the arcade maps with huge mountains and other interesting kinds of terrain to fight in. Anyway, this video was mainly supposed to create awareness, so I'd appreciate it hugely if you guys would share it around, maybe get the attention of Gaijin. Once again, I wish I had some footage from the stream to show you, but if you are interested in being a part of a free-for-all custom battle in future, we may do another one on a live stream, although likely not until after April Fools has been and gone. Anyway guys, please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, as there will be new content out on my channel every single day. Leave your comments below, come follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, Discord and all the rest, links in the description, and as always, I'll see you lads next video.